We're live.
All right. Well, check this out, man. First, I need to say shout out to Kelly real fast because she's been in here waiting and going. I love her for being the teakster that she is. John Anu Fried Check, my man, coming in, want to support our guests, learn a little bit about some route combinations because he can't run a route at all. I have to talk about him and his bad knees and how
Here
things
you
went
go.
there
Here
too.
you go.
Yeah, man. But that's John. You know what I'm saying? But we got a very special one lined up tonight. Special guests, a couple special guests. Slade Bolden, who you guys know, who played in the 2020 National Championship game in Alabama. Everyone's interested on how this one-on-one thing went. We're going to talk about that a little bit, but I think we're both really interested in the film that we're going to be able to watch and really talk about route concepts. That's going to be good. Then we're going to bring in Stephen M. Smith from the Bama Standard to give us spring football updates and what's going on there. So make sure you stay tuned, locked in for the next hour or so because it's going to be a good one. But since this is a pre-show, let's get out of the pre-show. Let's go ahead and start this thing up right now. Teague Steaks starting right now. All right, I'm gonna get into it because we got so much, and this is gonna be my run out real fast for you guys. Okay, the Cowboys have been moving slow in free agent signings and with contract extensions, just super slow. I'm afraid that the Cowboys won't be the team in the National Football League in Texas that everyone is talking about. The Houston Texans, man, they made some power moves this offseason. They signed pass rusher Daniel Hunter from the Vikings. They got Joe Mixon, the running back from the Bengals, and they already have Will Anderson, Nico Collins, and Tank Bell. And they just traded for Stephon Diggs to pair with C.J. Stroud, not to mention some of the other guys that they've re-signed. So the Cowboys are on the edge of not being the top tier team in the state of Texas, and this would be super detrimental to the fan base here in Texas. So the organization needs to think about, or they need to think outside the box and keep all of us motivated and spirited going into a critical season for Mike McCarthy, the critical players on the teams like Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Parsons, to name a few. So my ask is do the right thing, Cowboys. Do everything possible to give us a chance to win the Super Bowl before it's too late. Time is running out. That's my run out. And this is a Teague Take. Y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe, like button, do the right thing. Come on, help us get up there a little bit more. You guys have done so much to support us um, in every way possible, and we are very thankful to you for that. So I want to bring in JT right now, the co-host, the executive producer. My bad, the executive producer, the man of many things. I don't want to harp on it too long, but can you see the
Yes.
Cowboys making a big
Oh,
mistake with this? Not can you see,
yeah. That pause got me. Uh,
but can you see how the Cowboys about to get passed up by the Texans? How critical is
about
that
to.
going to
What
be?
do you mean about to? The entire defensive front has gone to DC. Um, I think you're probably your top performing safety is at home. Um, one of your starting corners is back in New England. Um, you kind of thin at linebacker. You got rid of a receiver.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Um, Meanwhile, down in Houston, there's this dude that just showed up by the name of Stephon Diggs. Tank Dell is already there. They got a rookie of the year quarterback. Their defense was already great. They already overachieved in the first year. I think they won a playoff game, which is much more than the Cowboys could say. And we lost one person. But that's okay. He'll be back, I'm sure. Um, but yeah, so I mean, I don't The question being, can I see Dallas being passed in the near future? I think that's already happened. I think right now the Cowboys are the second best NFL team in Texas right now. But you've already got a sneak peek at who our first guest is. Say hi, Slade.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, everybody? I know I was like just waiting to get introduced, and I
Yeah,
just got skipped right into the vault.
yeah, we got a whole. There was supposed to be a whole introduction and to do.
That's fine. I don't need no big introduction. So, but I appreciate one. I'd be thankful for one.
Oh, my says he's got no internet. Oh well, I guess we just it's just gonna be me and you right now then.
That's fine.
So
I saw that Diggs news today. I thought
yeah, so how do you think that came about? Like,
shocking.
can you?
I don't know. I mean, go ahead.
There's so these blockbuster trades, right? They happen in the NBA all the time, where you've got these 3-team trades, and I don't understand, and maybe you don't have all the information either if you just saw it just like I did. I don't understand how Minnesota got something out of this. Like they end up getting like a second round pick or something. Do you
You
know
talking
how
about
all
with
this stuff works?
the Kirk Cousins trade?
Is that what happened? No, because I thought that with this Diggs trade, it was like the Vikings end up getting something, and I don't know. Let me see.
You mean the Bills?
As well as the Bills. I'm gonna.
Oh, so there's like a 3-team. I see. I didn't know that. I didn't know there was a 3-team deal here. I thought it was just between the Bills and the Texans.
Yeah, well, I'm about to like do some bad podcasting here because I'm about to look up the trade and just do some quick Googling.
Yeah.
Because it says that in exchange for Diggs, the Bills will receive a 2025 second round pick via Minnesota. Oh, so maybe that just means that pick originally came from Minnesota?
Yeah, I bet it was something like that.
All right, sorry.
We can't hear you. You're back, but we can't hear you.
I gotta. Oh wait. All right, there we go.
Nope, not yet.
What you mean
You
not
gotta
yet?
keep hitting buttons over there.
That's all of them. Roadcaster.
I hear you.
I think YouTube can hear you. Oh, is it just me? I can't hear him? Okay, then.
Yeah, Slade says he can hear me. So anyway, I'm sorry, but this will be interesting for y'all because I don't miss this. And JT, so if y'all don't know how critical he is when it comes to things like
defensive back play?
Safety of the internet. I got a message that basically said someone was trying to steal the information.
Oh, they got him again.
It did it again.
Yeah, somebody's trying to steal. Somebody's hacking into your internet.
Oh Lord.
That's what it says. It keeps giving me a message that says someone's, something that's not safe. So
we need better coverage from.
Speaking of coverage,
like that.
Okay, so did you give him a
I didn't give him a proper introduction.
No. Okay, so let me do this for you guys because since I'm back, and I apologize for the technical difficulties, but you know what? This is what we say. Teague's Take is who we are, what we do. Shit happens. We don't spend a whole lot of money on producers and all that kind of stuff. We don't.
Damn right we don't.
No, because we don't want to try to overcharge people, sit behind some kind of firewall, ask for a whole lot of sponsors and commercials and all that kind of things. Even though we do have a great sponsor, which we'll talk about in a little while. But it's a family show in the sense, and we just like to. That's a good one. Lamar's trying to take the internet. That we just like to have fun and have a good time, and so we decided as a family we're just going to make it happen. I'm just happy that I got someone like J2 who can figure out how to have stuff like this VDO Ninja, give them a little shout out, I guess, and how he gets in the back end to make this stuff kind of happen. So, only thing we ask is that you guys subscribe, and give us the likes and watch the show. So, what I want to say about Slade. So I got to meet Slade. I don't know how many weeks ago, a couple weeks ago or so at a Titan Texas
a couple
event.
weekends ago.
Yep, and it's really cool to meet him, because I've watched him. And anytime you can watch Alabama players play, it's great just to see the intensity that he has, the love that he has for Alabama, first of all, but to overcome everything that he has gone through and he's continuing to go through right now. So when I got a chance to meet him, I will have to say that it was an honor for me. Anyone that can play on a level where they're on a national championship team, playing at Alabama, doing all the great things, having to fight through depth charts and rosters and make critical plays at the University of Alabama is tremendous. So I'm very, very thankful that he is on the show today. He has had some stints in the pros as well. He and I kind of kid and joked, at least with one of the teams that he was on in the NFL. Maybe we'll talk about that in a little bit. But, I'm just thankful that he gave me the opportunity to be able to come on and talk about Alabama football, the route concepts, get to know who he is, what he is up to. But this gentleman is very integral part of what Alabama did between 2018 and 2021 and winning the national championship in 2020, being a very, very big piece in the 2021 SEC championship, going on to play in the league, still continuing to do all that he does with football on multiple levels. I want to welcome Slade Bolden, number 18 for the University of Alabama.
Hey, for the delay of that introduction, I'll take it. I'll take the little delay because that was a great introduction. I appreciate it, George. And like you said, when we first met, I'd obviously known about your legacy for a long time. I know, we didn't get to play for the same coach, but still, it's that Bama Sci-Fi brotherhood that we have. And, you won a national championship. We shared that, and obviously, like, I've known about your legacy, and so it was just as much of an honor. To me, it was more of an honor to meet you because you carried that, one of the guys that continue to carry that Bama legacy of greatness and tradition of winning. So thank you for the introduction. It was a pleasure meeting you, and hope to continue to enjoy this friendship that we've created. So. It's been an honor. So I appreciate the delayed introduction. I'll take it.
No, I appreciate it, man. So let's talk about this. We kind of tease people on us being at the bar, and people don't really know the story. So if you don't mind, I'd like to start with that before we get into the film with you a little bit, because we were sitting there, and I think we were just being cordial, right? I think it was just a good little deal. Hey, we meet and this and that. And so let me lay the groundwork, and you can kind of tell me where I'm going wrong, if I'm going wrong,
okay,
or whatnot. But I was actually,
there's a lot of wrong about to come out. There's a lot of wrong about to come out.
I was actually out on the patio part outside, right? Slade was inside, I think. I don't know, but this gentleman came out. His name is Harrison. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now. He came out and he said, "Hey, Slade Bolden is in there talking shit about you, and he said he could beat you right now in one-on-one." Now, I've already had a couple orange tea shots and a couple beers or something or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. He said he wants to do some one-on-one. So I need for you to tell me the truth right now, because when I confronted you about it at the thing, you kind of said, nah, that wasn't true. So tell me the truth, man. Were you talking about me behind my back or what?
No, it started even before that. Like, one of the Alumni Association representatives, I think her name was Carson, was already saying that I said something, and I was talking to you the whole time at that point, so I hadn't said nothing to nobody, first off, and then second off, our boy Harrison definitely had way too many drinks, because I don't know where that came from, because I was not saying that. I was not saying that. So he had definitely more than 2 orange Teague shots. That's
Yeah.
what we like to
Oh,
call
we
them up
did
there.
change the name of the drinks. They became Orange Teague shots and not Orange
Yeah.
Tea shots because
No, so that was false. That I don't want, we were in nice, casual clothing. We were not suited for a one-on-one rep that day.
well, first of all, I can't say I was, but them shorts you had on, brother, them little whitey tighty things that you had on.
You didn't like them?
Yeah, that's some sweat trunks or something, man. But anyway, so JT, the next part was that we had a couple more drinks, Cokes, water, this kind of stuff, right?
You drank more. I didn't.
So we were upstairs. Right? And we'd been downstairs for a little while. Now he's a young buck. I'm not sure how old you actually are, but he was a young buck, and he actually started drinking coffee or something, some kind of cappuccino. Look at it, he's like, yeah,
coffee.
Probably.
No,
it was probably an espresso martini. What they call it.
So I knew he was kind of
They're
weak at
good,
this
they're
point,
good.
right? Because he needed some energy and stuff, and we
Oh
were
my
getting all
gosh.
this little, we were having all these little chirping going on the side, right? And so we were upstairs, and we just had some more orange teagues, as we said, and so my confidence started to build up a little bit too, right? So somebody's like, well, what are we gonna do, man? Are we gonna settle this? Or are we gonna go outside and make this happen? Let's go do the one-on-one thing. I'm thinking, oh, well, he's a young buck. He's drinking coffee in the middle of the day, trying to get some energy. He's out there. So I'm like, oh, I got it,
you
man.
Like
I got it.
You like your chances.
I'm like, oh, I can roll with this, right? So I kind of paced back and forth a little bit and be like, all right, I can do this. So I just went on outside and I kind of scope up the land and try to see, all right, what can this go down? We can't be out in the middle of McKinney Avenue with trains rolling through and cars and all this kind of stuff.
All I need is a phone booth.
So we kind of convinced each other that we're going to go out here and do a little bit of one-on-one. We had a small little group, that wanted to see it. JT, do you actually have the hype video that we?
I do. What do you pay me for?
Okay,
come on now.
So let's show the little clip, the little teaser that we put out on social media. One that gives you another good look at who Slade Bolden is, but also a little bit who George Teague
used to do.
Yeah. Let's do it.
He don't know how to eat. He don't know how to drink. He don't know how to run routes. Slade Bolden thinks he can do something with me.
Oh yeah.
What's up? Let's go.
Oh,
gone out of there.
So we put out a poll. Slade, I think you need to know that the people that voted who thought who won, that it was going to be me. 65% George Teague, 35% Slade Bolden.
That's actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
What you thought it was going to be?
Okay, look.
What you thought it was going to be?
I thought this was going to be a landslide only because you were posting it to your own followers.
Yes.
So I just assumed like it was going to be in the 80s or 90s because everybody's biased toward like they're following you.
No, but Slade actually did a great job of being a collaborator with this, and so that's true. So he had some of his followers in there, but a lot of the negative comments for me were they wanted to go with youth. They love me, but
Mhm.
I'm 53. He's 20
Yeah.
something. It was like, there's no way.
So maybe 20 years ago, it'd been a different story.
I know, but I won. Just so everybody knows.
Okay.
It actually happened.
Nowadays you couldn't get away
Okay.
with all that grabbing. They'll flag you quick.
Yeah, but we were playing by my rules. And look at
The
somebody
parking lot of
text me
Blackfriar
about
Pub
you.
rules.
So I asked JT, and he might not have got it in to show the next piece of the clip, so
Oh,
people
what
can see.
you think
Maybe
you think I can't
technical difficulty again on that part.
you think I can't get it in here?
Well, you take your time.
Take my time.
You get it, because I need people to see this damn press stick that I put on him. John on your fried check. I see it right there. Oh, hit over the corner. Get that thing up. Oh,
See, they don't know. They don't know I came back.
The magic of editing.
Man.
I didn't
I
edit
love
anything.
it.
He just sent me the video and I put it up on screen.
That's great.
That's all
That's
that
great.
yeah.
It's all right.
So my boy Anya Franchek has some good clips. I'm sorry, JT. I got an echo. I don't know if y'all hear it.
Oh, that's me. I'm sorry. There you go.
Okay. All right. So John Anya Franchek, good buddy of ours, the president of Titan, Texas. He was kind of in the way a little bit, but he was getting some good footage of it. And, when we were going through this, I knew I couldn't play off on him. And so any of y'all play street ball. I don't know, Slade, you might be too young. JT's probably too young. I guess
What do you mean
JT's
too
a little
young?
older
What
than
do
you too.
You don't
Y'all
you don't
didn't play
remember me getting
football
these
in the
scars?
street. Y'all didn't play football in the street. So we had cars and
I
trees
hit a
and stuff.
whole brick mailbox.
We were on the gravel roads in the trailer park. That's where I was playing. Tackle the man with the ball and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we had this, and so I don't know if you guys saw the video or what. Not right there, but one of the things that we always talk about as a defensive back is when you impress how I allow.
Because I got swag too, you know what I'm saying? I got swag, man.
Quarterback to
All right,
so
come on.
JT can stop it right when I get ready to press him. Now I if I was going to critique myself, I feel like I got my hands too low. But like I said, it's probably the alcohol talking a little bit. Let me get a little bit more. That's John on your fried check back there.
Being a little more loose.
Yes.
Then you can run with me.
So we are in the phone booth and we're going in this, but once he goes up, we always talk about working the V, opening the feet, and then jamming.
Because I got swag too.
At 40.
You know what I'm saying? I got swag.
Look at the kicks I got on.
That's the only thing that saves me.
Oh, right there, JT, right there.
I'm trying.
You can't get it right there, right there. That tells you right there, automatic win.
Because I got swag.
Down 90% of the time.
Swag too. You know what I'm saying? I got swag.
Let this give a little bit of ground. Let him go back. Open my feet. Oh, yes. Oh, come on, Slade. Come on, Slade. Let him know, baby. Just call me Daddy T.
Because I got swag too. You know what I'm saying? I got swag.
I ain't gonna call you nothing like that.
Hey, we got real film to get to today, fellas.
All right. Okay. Well, let's do that.
We'll see what Slade really looks like. Let's do that. Let's pull that up.
Let's show you about this. So we want to talk to you guys about some route concepts and what's going on. So this is some film, and I want you guys to see this. This is from the 2021 SEC Championship. We don't play one.
I think so.
No, it's not.
No.
He's a third
All right,
receiver. So we'll go back. It should be 2nd and 1. I don't know if you put him in order.
Okay.
Should be second.
There
it is. 2nd and 1. He is the third receiver. Remember everything that we guys taught you guys. I don't know if JT can write on the screen or not. 1, 2, 3. There he is. Right there. So what I want Slade to kind of talk to us about, because of the down and distance and the route that you run, did you have, what would you call this? Is this an option route? Was it a design route? What?
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of categorize it as an option. It was a stick, and it's reading. You're basically reading if it's man, I'm breaking out. If it's zone, I'm sitting down. And looking back at this, when you sent it to me, I noticed it was man, and it might have been like an 11 rat because it looks like the backers are. If I was across, the mic would have took me, but if I'd have went out, the wheel would have took me. But so when I went to stem in to get closer to him, because I was in my mind, I was like, okay, it's man, and then I was going to break out, but he expanded, and then the mic went expanded too, so they similar to like they almost showed zone, so that I knew if I would have broke out, I'm just going to run right into him and not give Bryce an outlet or a check down because we called this play chop, and then we had a signal for it like we're chopping wood, and it was basically a box fade by number 2, and then a hitch by number 1. But when we did it in a 3-by-1 formation, the number 3 had a stick. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, let me attack this linebacker's leverage, try to keep him inside, break out, creating more room and separation from the corner with the hitch route, and also allow myself to have more room to hopefully try to strike up field and get in that seam. But like I said, I went to stem in and he expanded, so I just turned in and gave Bryce an easy quick outlet or easy inside outlet to drop it down to me and get the first down because we're, when it's second and short, Jordan, like teams are going to take shots because they know that they're going to have an easier third down conversion. So that's why we had JMO in that number 2 spot trying to run that chop route. So, worked out, got the first down, kept the chains rolling.
Can you go back a little bit just because you said something? I don't want people to get confused. So from the defensive side, you said that you thought it might be an 11 rat. I know what it is, but can you kind of explain what that means to you when you say an 11 rat from a defensive perspective?
Yeah. So like 11, all the 11 different variations in cover 11, it's basically man. But you got 11 robber, you got 11 funnel, and you got 11 rat. And a rat's talking to the bat, the linebackers. And they're basically a rat that's sniffing out anything that comes across, is how I've always been taught. George, you can also help me too with that. But it's usually if someone's coming across, they're going to take it. And they're going to help out, especially if the guys are playing off, like the corner and the safety are right here on these guys. Let's say Jameson took off to the inside real quick on a shallow. It'd be pretty hard for the safety over the top of him to cover. So that's when the rat takes him. Yeah. Or like the single receiver too. So to me, when I looking back on it, it looked like 11 rat.
Okay.
And but I don't know why the backers expanded like the way they did. But that's why I obviously shut it down and turned in right there.
Okay, and so you mentioned one other thing that I kind of wanted you to talk about. You were talking about this box fade, and JT played wide receiver and stuff too. So we're looking at the number 2 receiver at the top. When you were saying the box fade, so he's running a fade, is what you called it. I'm gonna ask JT this first before I get to you. What did you guys call this route? Was it back in my day? It was a rail, a sail, a something. Did you have any other kind of terminology for this?
Yeah, we did, but that's because none of us were Jameson Williamson. So we called it a clear out because whoever was running that route wasn't getting the ball.
That's a buddy route.
Yeah,
I'm getting it over for my buddy.
Yeah, we ran this a lot with the concept we called Denver, or you had a dig coming back underneath, and you're just trying to get this guy or the safety to take you deep, so that you've got this underneath, and you'd usually have somebody like the third receiver trying to hold this linebacker in here, or something like that. They could come from from anywhere, but yeah, we just called it a clear out because you knew for sure you're not getting the ball.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm honestly surprised in this look that Bryce didn't just step back and just let it fly.
Let it go to him?
Would it being, with Jameson being one-on-one right here. But maybe he thought that safety was going to roll to the half, or maybe that corner was going to fall off and look like cover 3, because the corner was off too. And, but I think, and also maybe he felt like 2nd and 1, this is the first drive. Let's just get rolling, because we always played best when we were rolling. So, especially this year.
Okay. Well, that was another big first down. Slade had several huge first downs, which you're going to see in this clips that we're going to show you. But this is so one of the things we talked about Slade, right? And I want the viewers to maybe go back and look at our last episode where we were talking about 4-2-5-3 match, right? And how they would actually have to try to cover this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's go to the second clip. I don't know if this is 3rd and 5, JT. It's 3rd and 5. I didn't see it there.
Yes,
3rd and 5. Okay, so now they move Slade. Last time he was a number 3 wide receiver. I think this one you're still number 2. Is that right? Yeah, you're at the point.
The point man in the bunch. Mm-hmm.
There you go. So first of all, can you tell us what bunch means for novice people?
The bunch is usually, and there's obviously in different offenses they teach different things, but usually the bunch it can either be +2 from the hash, like if it's college hashes, +2 or -2 from the hash, depending on sometimes the concepts. You either want to be a little bit wider, or normally it's in between the numbers and the tackle. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. But what we taught in Bama was like, okay, -2 from the hash, or we're +2 depending on what type of concepts we have. But right here, obviously, we're -2. And then if you have like there's different things of calling a tight bunch, which is when you're like basically +3 or +5, depending on how wide you want to get from the tackle. That's usually a tight bunch, which I'm trying to think what we called a tight bunch in college. I may come back to me later, but yeah, that's usually what a bunch formation is. And then you want to have at least a yard or 2 of spacing from each receiver. But you don't, like right here when Jameson came out, and then a clip later, I felt like in a clip that we'll show later, when I came in motion, I was a little too deep in the bunch. I felt like I could have been a little bit tighter, because that also has to deal with timing with your quarterback. So that's the best way I describe it.
Okay, so one thing I want to point out with this, that if you don't know, so if you look at the numbers on this picture where they're at, those are actually where the pro numbers are at. Yeah. Those little hash marks or tick marks out there are actually where the college numbers would be. So
right,
we gotta always remember that when we're talking about alignment. Where do you go? So they're actually a lot closer than they would normally be.
Numbers. I always look at the hashes, and I guess maybe it's because of the hash being so close in the NFL that the numbers don't look like they're far away.
It's close.
But like seeing this, like
everything is wide side of the field in pros. Everything's in the middle of the field. There is no wide side like college pretty much, because the numbers are in and the hash marks are a lot further. So I would assume these are college hash marks, and they moved.
I believe they were.
Anyway, okay, so that's the first part. So I wanted you guys to know what the actual bunch means. And so when you get into this, what is your mindset when it comes to when you're at the point of a bunch versus in the back before we get to the actual route?
Right. Well, it goes into the week. You're looking, okay, how they play the bunch. It goes into studying the film. And then obviously that results into game planning. There's different ways teams can play a bunch. They can just zone it. If they're in a cover 2, the corner would just drop to the flat. Usually the point man would just drop to the curl flat, and then if there's a safety over the top, he just gets to his half. Or they could do a lock and combo where the point man or the the safety over the point guy in the bunch, he's got him man. And then the nickel inside and then the corner on the outside of the bunch, they combo it. So basically, whatever the back two receivers release, whoever goes out, the corner takes, and whoever goes in, the nickel takes. And then they could just what they call either freeway, highway, interstate. I've heard different terms for it, where it's like, all right, this guy goes this way, you got him. This way, this guy goes him. Like all three of them are basically trying to figure out which way. Which that can, I don't know why defenses do that. But then you just got pure lock or just man. So okay, you got him. You got number one receiver. You got number two receiver. You got number three. And I believe right here, and if I'm not mistaken, they're just in a lock.
He doesn't
They
have
just had
you.
it man.
So they moved. And so I want to go back. Thank you for that because first let me say, those of y'all in the chat, how many of y'all actually your head's starting to blow off a little bit basically because of what he said right there on who has.
I know. I tried to simplify it best I could.
Yeah. So they moved from where they were in a minute ago, right?
Yeah.
So maybe JT. So if you look at it, it looks like the guy on the outside might be on the outside receiver.
Yeah, it looks like,
which he
at
ends
least
up
pre-motion, it looks like we've got this.
Yes, which it ends up being. So if you show motion now, they end up on the same dudes, but they just changed the.
Yeah, but now, because now they're saying, okay, now I have a true bunch and not a stack. So now we're actually going to put somebody right up here on the point. We're going to move somebody over and then probably start to try to sift.
Yep. So let it run. So let's watch what Slade does. Slade is the one at the point and the front. Okay. So this is what I want to talk about because your eyes have to be in the right spot, right? Slade, that guy looks like he has you man to man, but he lets you go and takes out the inside. So now what do you have to do as a wide receiver to say within your concept? Was this your original route or did you have to change it or adjust based upon what they were doing?
This is one of my favorite concepts that we ran. And it was called two lane. And basically the point guy, number three had a shallow. So he's clearing it. He's the last check down if Bryce moves from the right side of the field to the left.
Can you
he's clearing
that? Hold on, the other guy, the closest inside guy.
No, you're right. The number one receiver has a shallow.
One. Okay.
Yeah, so he's clearing it out. And the point man, so where I'm at right now, I had the option to either run a basic, which is a 10 to 12 yard in route, or a 10-yard outcut, depending on the safety's leverage. And let's just say, for the sake of the drill or the sake of the route concept, if it was cover two and the safety was playing outside, he got to his half, I'm probably going to break it in. But I actually had the option. Coach O'Brien let me have the option to, if it was pure zone, to sit it down too. So I had basically a three-way option read on this at 10 to 12 yards. And then when Jameson comes in, when he comes in motion, he has a traditional option. So he's going to, what we call it, like just have a with release, let everything clear out, and he's going to read. If the guy's playing me man, okay, I'm going to try to either work him to move him outside and then break the slant, or if he's playing in, get up on his toes and break out, or if it's pure zone and everybody just widens, get up to 5 yards and sit it. So that is essentially this concept right here. And this is where it was tough for James, and this is what they did to us in the national championship. They would lock that guy at the point with number three, and then they would play combo with number two, which was different. They figured it out that every time, a lot of times when that guy would come in motion as a number three receiver, he would run a choice route. So they would get up on you quick, and that's what happened to me because I was always running that choice route at number three. And sometimes it was tough, like because I'm already 2 yards behind the line, and he's sitting at the line, and it's like, all right, I got to get to 5 yards of depth.
which is 7
It
yards from
was
where you're standing.
difficult. Right. It was tough. And, and then like, I got, and then that mental clock is going on in your head. Like, I got to get out of this break. I got to get into my route. But right here, what I was thinking is, I honestly did think that the guy was, I try to stem in a little bit or just give a little split release and kind of get inside because I was more worried about him trying to reroute me, because sometimes they'll put hands on you and then go to the guy they had man. So I just didn't want to get in my route. And then you see at first before the play starts, they're all three at different levels. So that is a good indicator too that they're all locked on one certain man because they have to be able to, they don't want to run into each other.
Through. Yeah, we don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
We on defense say don't be on the same level. You're going to run into each other.
Exactly. So when I cut in a little bit, I try to get back vertical to get to my depth. And I just gave him a little 1-2 piece, head and shoulders at the top, and broke that thing in. So I think right here I could have broke in or out.
What? I'm sorry. I just saw this thing come up in the chat. You tripping. Okay, so excellent. Now I do want to be able to say and give mad props to Slade on this just because of the way he stemmed and moved DBs. That's always tough for us, right, JT? When people are kind of wiggling and going, hey, they go inside, they go outside, and they break in. I mean, it's an excellent job by Slade. It's pretty impressive on many levels. All right, so clip 3, 1st and 10. So I do need to point out with this, and I kind of want to hear your mindset. And I know we're going to have what's the name come on in a minute, Stephen M. Smith, right? But I want to hear about this because, it's a very critical game. It's very close, right? Obviously, 17-17. Mechie gets hurt.
Right.
So they're calling on you to come in and do something. I'm saying big. I don't know what they said to you, but when you're watching the Florida game and you understand how this goes. So you come in, right? It's 1st and 10. Mechie gets hurt. You're called on the very next play. Can you talk to us about what your mindset is just as an athlete? And you're going in, you're on one of the biggest stages. Someone goes down and says, Slade, you're up, man. How are you feeling at that point? What is your mindset at this moment right now?
Well, and this might sound like a Saban, the most Saban answer you've ever heard, but I'm gonna be real. It's you go into each game, you've already practiced, you're already practicing at the best every day, So you prep as if it's a game every day. So like when your number's called, you're already prepared. So it's not it's not like, oh, now I need to make a play. Oh, now I'm ready. Now I got to step up. It's like, I know I've been here. I've been ready to do this. Now I'm just getting the opportunity to do it. Just like when I first started. When I first got my start was against Tennessee when Waddle got hurt. I wasn't like, oh, now I got to step up. It was like, okay, I'm prepared for this. I've been ready for this. Now it's just time to make the plays that come to me. And that's exactly what this was. It's like, okay, Mechie's got hurt. Next man up. We hate it. Obviously, we'll love my dog Mets, but we'll deal with that after the game. We got to get ready for this next play because we got to go down and be SEC champions.
All right, excellent. So this is a hard route to cover by defensive backs. And, he didn't really even stem, right? So this, would you call this a corner route or would you call it an out? What would you say this is actually?
I'm trying to remember what this concept was because it's like a under, and this is like a speed out, at the your third inside step, speed it out. Now, sometimes it's a little tricky when it's man, especially if it's press, you at least got to get to depth at 10 yards, but you're basically getting to 10 and rolling it to 12 or 14. And I knew that he's playing this deep off. I'm just going to try to attack him with speed. And once I saw that, I knew I was getting the ball. Like I knew that there was that cover 2 look, there was space, and that corner was sitting low because he had an under route by the number 1 receiver. And so I had a feeling that the ball was coming to me right here.
All right. Well, that's excellent. That's another great route. I mean, he said it
But
all to you guys. He's off very far. You got to, I'm saying flatten it out, but maybe it wasn't a
yeah,
flatten out. It just what I want everyone to hear, and I appreciate you because you're doing a tremendous job of this, of how complex this is and how much you actually have to think as a wide receiver. Most of the time, they just think, oh, he got it out or he got something, but you got choices, right? And options
mhm,
that you and the quarterback have to be on the same page.
yeah. Because I
For
would
them.
run that differently if it was a press or a soft press. I'm not just going to go straight, right? I'm going to have to work release, try to get outside. And if I can't get outside of the him, I'm going to have to attack it vertical and then probably have to throw by at the top of the route and get back flat. But I had space in that time. I don't know if, George, I don't know if you noticed. Did you see what they did, how they played that cover two on that last clip?
Mm.
Exotic. They rolled the safety down, blitzed him, and dropped the corner to the boundary that was closest to us,
You
and
talking
he
about on this first and
became
10, or you talking about the next play?
the first and 10.
Okay.
Yeah, watch this. This is some exotic stuff. This is next level. So obviously the safety was low.
Oh yeah, they're backing him out of there. Yes.
Yeah, and then they draw that corner back, and then almost bring that other safety is like a Tampa look. Yeah, that's some exotic stuff right there.
Yeah. That's it.
Because
So
I
he's
guess they're trying to make it look like one, and then they backed out and made it two.
yeah, I don't know what that is. It is pretty good. So
Mm-hmm.
hey, that's taking him to the water, man. Ooh, that was a good one, JT. That's taking him to the water, man. So, we got one more play that we want to talk about with Slade about this, but we're talking about how people get really excited, you get baptized, you get all kind of stuff, and you know what? I need to be able to talk about one of our sponsors at this point. You know what? I was talking about Slade going to the beach, wearing those little shorts and all those kind of things. They look
Oh,
like
come
swim
on
trunks.
now.
Were they swim trunks or what were they? Or were they just shorts?
Nah, they just mesh shorts. They're
Okay.
more like hooping shorts, to be honest.
All right. Well, you know what, Slade? What I need to
Why you
tell you
hating
is
on my
that
shorts, man?
I'm not
Hating
hating
on
on them.
my
I think
hating on
they're
my release.
I think they're great for you to be able to get wet, get splashed on like I splashed on you like this. And I need for you to
Oh, here
know
you go again.
as you continue to go
Uh,
through your stuff.
all this bullshit right here.
No, listen, man. I don't know if you like to go to the beach or if you like to get in the pool, but there's something that I need for you to know when you get a little bit older, you buy your house, you do your stuff, whatnot. You can put a beach in your backyard. Get it from Beaches LLC. They make these exotic beaches that make you feel welcome at your home. So let's take a minute, 1 minute exactly, for you to hear about Beaches LLC. Let me tell you about Beaches LLC. Yes, Beaches LLC is your source in the state of Alabama and the Florida Panhandle for exquisite quartz sand beach pools by Biodesign USA. A Biodesign beach sculpted pool is crafted with beach entries, customized seating areas, and swimming zones, and they all can be personalized to your swimming needs. The Biodesign swimming pool is meant to immerse you in your surrounding environment. The illusion of a truly beautiful beach can be created and extended onto the patio area, creating one seamless shore environment. Let them help you turn your dream backyard escape into reality with an eco-friendly, more durable, less time, and less expensive to maintain, totally customizable pool. To learn more about turning your dream into a reality, please visit their website at www.yourbackyardbeach.com. See, I want to talk on those trash, man. I want you to be able to have some good stuff in your house because I'm really, really excited about this opportunity. Um, so, okay, thank you very much to Beaches LLC for being a trooper and always supporting us. Thank you for all of you who are listening from the Bama Standard as well. Make sure you hit subscribe to both channels. Okay, that is pretty awesome. So I want to talk about one more play. Steven, sit tight with us. I know you're in the background listening to us, but I want to talk about one more play with Slade. It is a 3rd and 9,
Mhm.
right? So now he's lined up a little bit differently. It's getting late in the game. He's actually in the backside of the bunch, so he's already kind of talked to us about it. Um, so now your thought process is what now? How much different? Truly, I know you said how much is it? And both of you guys probably could talk about this. For being on backside, not having someone in your face, to being off in a bunch. Does it feel better? Are you more comfortable? How'd you feel about it, Slade?
It's definitely more comfortable. Like when I'm in this position, I know I got some time, especially with this route. Now, obviously, not too much time, but when you're at the point, you got to go. You got to get out. You got to clear it. Now I have a little time. I guess I can see how the defense is developing. I can see, how they're playing us. And the motion tells you at first whether it's going to be man or zone. So when I was coming over, you saw the DB following me. That's already an indicator of it's being man. Now, sometimes you'll get in the formation and they can call like, hey, lock it, or hey, combo, halo, all these different calls that, we pick up as we continue to play, we start to understand. But right here is the same concept we had a few clips ago. It's called the two-lane concept. But now I'm running the choice instead of Jameson. So I knew my guy's on the inside. There's a lot of room on the outside. So I'm just going to break it out.
Very nice.
And I don't know if they didn't get – I can't remember if they didn't give me the first down or not here, but, I swear I crossed that thing. Come on now. What are we doing?
It's another great route, though. I want to give JT a little piece there before we move on. Because you played some wide receiver, too, in college as well. What do you think about these bunches and just the overall concept of being front and back? Any tidbits you'd like to share with everybody?
Yeah, Slade hit it. The guy at the point is always it. The concept kind of makes it's dependent on who's at the point of the bunch. Because if that dude gets jammed up, or even worse, knocked backwards, everybody's route is messed up because of that dude not being able to get off the press. But everything goes right, and you're kind of the last guy to leave the bunch. I do think it makes it a little bit easier on your reads, because just like if you're the farthest guy on defense trying to sift it all out, you kind of see where everybody's going. And it's when you're on offense, you have the advantage of knowing where you're going. So once those defenders start to clear out, sometimes it makes it very apparent where you're supposed to be and what's the right choice. And I would say it's Slade, you can agree or disagree with me when the two plays that we looked at, this past one, like Slade said, it was, he already knew where the guy was going. So you can almost tell pre-snap that he should be taking the out route. Whereas when he was at the point, he's having to run his route and figure out who is the guy that I'm supposed to be reading to be responsible for, because you thought it was the guy in front of you, but he runs with the shallow, and then you think it's the next guy, and then he takes the other guy, and then finally and he's like, well, mental clock's going off. I gotta get back into my route, get my depth, and make a decision. So I do think you have to be a little bit quicker. Your read has to be clean and on time when you're the point man, and you have a little bit of you got a little bit of leeway. Not saying that you can be truly late, but if you make the hesitation when you're on the backside of the bunch is not as detrimental as if you're the point. Yep.
Excellent points. So big props to Slade and all the information that he gave us tonight, man. I think he's a good follow. Y'all see his personality and all kinds of things. He has a lot of good stuff going on, and we're going to see more of each other because he's out here in the Dallas area now. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to get a chance to treat him to some lunch.
Bama Final Four, baby,
or something. Yeah, Bama Final Four Saturday night. And so why don't you tell everybody
might need a rematch.
Yeah, well, you know what? We can line it up one more time, baby. I was about to say one more again. That's what you say. One more again. So
because you good for about 2 only, huh? You only good for about 2 reps.
Yeah, I ain't gonna have no more orange teagues either when I get ready. We gonna show everybody what's up. So
bring our cleats to the bar.
Hey, give everybody, let us know how we can find you on Twitter, Instagram. He Instagram famous, JT. Man, he got all kind of people, man, on there.
I ain't got that. That's that 20th century or 21st century Alabama social media page right there. No, but my Instagram is at S18DE, and you can find me on Twitter at _Slade_10. And TikTok, it ain't even worth it. Don't even go looking at that.
I ain't on TikTok, so I don't even know. That's why I ain't tagging you there.
Right.
So, well, y'all, one more round of applause for Slade Bolden and everything that he did for us.
Man, I appreciate it. I had fun.
It's so all right. Maybe I'll see you Saturday night downtown watching the game. So we appreciate your time, man. Thank you very much, brother.
All right, y'all. George, JT, and I know Steven's on the back end, but appreciate y'all. God bless, and as always, roll tide.
Roll tide, baby. Roll tide. All right. Well, JT, that's awesome, man. And we got one more person that we need to get to, and I thank him for waiting on us for a little bit. I know I talked a little bit too much about the one-on-one and all that, but that's just my competitive nature, so I spend a little too much time on that. But we wanted to give some people some updates on Bama football and spring football practice. And this guy right here, he's a Teagster. He's one of our people. He is with Touchdown Alabama Magazine, senior writer there. He's with the Bama Standard. Always bringing great content. Make sure you guys follow this guy. Read everything that he has because he's an insider and he sees it. He knows it and he's able to talk to us about this. It is the great Stephen M. Smith. Yes, sir.
Where's this? That's on me. That's on me. There he is.
There he is. You know what? Hold on. I got my best Stephen M. impression. You ready? Let's just check this out. Oh! I got it. Except my glass is clean. My glass is clean. He don't clean his glasses, JT.
Bro. No, man. Oh, man.
Man, how you doing, man? Sorry having a little lateness or whatnot. I don't know if you listened to some of that good talk we was having, but
I mean, it was awesome, man. It's always fun to be a part of a Teague family, man. Whether it's late, whether it's early, it don't matter to me.
Yes, sir.
It does not matter to me at all.
All right. Well, we appreciate
so JT got that one for you. So is pepper jack a flavor?
It's a type of cheese. So
no, I knew that's what he was gonna say. JT don't believe in reds and greens or whatever. I don't know. Pepper jack is a flavor.
It's a cheese.
It's a flavor.
It's a cheese.
But it's still a flavor.
Oh my God.
I guess. Sure.
Wow.
So mozzarella or cheddar, you don't call that flavor? Or you just call that cheese?
It's cheese.
Which is a flavor of
cheese.
Oh my gosh, you started this stuff, Steven. So can we talk about some other flavor, Steve?
We can talk about. We can definitely talk about having that Bama basketball in the Final Four.
How about
definitely
that?
A flavor. That's definitely a flavor.
Are you
those guys?
Are you headed out there?
I'm not headed to Phoenix, but my main thing is this: whatever they fed Grant Nelson before the North Carolina game, feed him that same meal because we got to get that same performance from Grant Nelson against UConn.
They gave him some mustache
Some mustache cream.
Yeah, it's a mustache cream. I think that's all it was. So look, I want to talk some football with you, right?
Let's
Some
go.
Alabama football. We got that. I love Alabama basketball and what we're doing. I'm excited about it. I'm going to be tuning in. I'm going to be rooting, all that kind of stuff. But there's so much that seems like it's going on in Tuscaloosa right now for spring football. So the first thing I want to ask you about is something that Charlie Porter actually posted up on his thing, and he was talking about not necessarily about James Brockermeyer, but that we had a center that wasn't necessarily maybe so happy with Alabama. I'm paraphrasing. He didn't say it like this, right? So can you kind of tell us what's going on with our whole center situation right now?
Okay. So I spoke with like 3 to 5, several people after the first scrimmage on last week. And so what was told to me, James Brockermeyer beat Parker Brailsford out. Brockermeyer beat him out for the center job. I mean, Brock, who came as a 4-star 2021 from Texas, his dad played All-American at Texas, played 9 years in the NFL. He and his brother Tommy, James' brother Tommy, they both came to Bama in 21. Tommy was the 5-star. Funny story, they were both hurt when they signed their national letter of intent. One guy was on crutches, one guy was on a knee scooter when they signed the national letter of intent. So Tommy, we all know the story. He transfers back home to TCU. James stays put at Bama, works his tail off, and has had a phenomenal spring to where he's caught on to the offense so fast. He snaps the ball extremely well, but he's caught to the offense so fast that Brailsford, I didn't think that he thought that Brock could catch on to it fast. But Brock is an extremely smart kid. So that's what got Parker all up in knots, because he feels like, hey, I'm a transfer in here. I know this system. I played under Coach DeBoer and Coach Sheridan at Washington. It's going to be a piece of cake. Well, no, because Brock has made sure it's not a piece of cake. Brock beat him out.
Okay. Do you think any of that is it all smarts, or does it have anything to do with size, ability, athleticism?
Brock's a bit thicker than Brailsford is. He's a bit thicker. You know, Brailsford came in 275, 278 from Washington. You know, Brock's 285, 290. So Brock's a bit more size there, bit more power there. Has athleticism, can move. But I think with Brock, it's just how quickly he knows how to change protection schemes, how quickly he can change blocking play to pass pro to identifying defenses. He just really sharp with it. The guy's just really sharp with it. And I don't think as much as Brailsford is athletic with it, he wasn't picking it out as fast as Brock was. Like Brock was picking that out.
Hey, so I just linked your article that you wrote for TD Alabama Mag, and I have a bone to pick with you, and really all journalists, not just you. Can we stop like posting stuff on April 1st? Like, can we just not do that? Because
don't fool anybody.
Yeah, because I mean, I know this is innocuous, but like,
look, JT, before you even preface that, I was not even going to post it on April 1st because I knew folks were going to say this is an April Fool's joke.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm just saying. So I wasn't going to do it. It was just the journalism side of me. It's like Kermit the Frog, the you and the inner you. The you was like, don't do it. Don't do it. The inner you's like, do it. Do it anyway.
You know, and I want to go back to the Brockermeyers, both of them. So me and JT actually coached against them while they were here in Texas. A lot of people don't know that they were at Fort Worth All Saints, and this is where we were making our rise into the playoffs, and we actually had to play them, and I got to see them. I already we had already heard a lot about, hey, they might be going to Alabama. They had committed at that time, or maybe they had. And so we were getting a lot of questions about how much influence, how do we like them? And I tell you what, they beat up on us pretty good. And in the lineman challenge that we went to, it was kind of we knew that they had the ability to be able to do that. So I'm glad to see that he's having the success that James has stayed with us and is having the success there.
Right. And what people people don't realize a lot of time is offensive line. That's a position where you have to grow to develop. Like that takes some time. You don't see too many just freshmen come in and just be dominant as offensive linemen first year off the rip. I mean, you had big Andre Smith, but Andre was a rarity. You had Cam Robinson. Cam was a rarity at left tackle. And of course, Jonah Williams came 2 years later at right tackle, 2016. But it's not like that always happens. A lot of those kids, it take them 2 years, 3 years to kind of get everything right to be that guy. And for James, it took him a minute. It took James a good minute because a lot of people forget that James was still on the roster. And so they look back at the roster and see, Brockermeyer was still here. So it for the offensive line, it take them some time a little bit.
Okay, excellent. So when you're talking about the offensive line, can you talk about the offense in general? How has that been looking? Any significant changes? I only get to see few highlights, couple passes, maybe a couple runs or something. But are they looking any different? Quicker passes, deeper throws? What do you think?
It's quicker passes, but it's becoming a bit more passing though. Like it's a lot of downfield shots too. They take the shots to the boundary, the 10 to 15-yard throws, but Kalen DeBoer wants to really push that thing downfield. And he's challenged the wide receivers. Jamarcus Shepard has challenged these guys. You got to take this ball. You got to win off the route. You got to take this ball. So they've been challenging this offense. We got to push this ball downfield. Now, there's still the balance of wanting to run it as well because you still got to give Justice Haynes his touches. You still got to give Jam Miller his, Richard Young his. There's a freshman, Daniel Hill from Meridian, Mississippi. That guy in the first scrimmage, short goal line monster. They can't tackle him on the goal line. So you got to get that guy some burn also if you feel led too. So you're still trying to have that balance. But DeBoer, Sheridan, Jamarcus Shepard, they want to push this thing downfield and make it as explosive as possible. Because if you go back to Washington, last year, Washington led the nation in motions, shifts, formations. They led the nation the most percentage team when you talk about using motion, using window dressing, using eye candy, using formations. Washington was top in the country doing that last year.
Okay, so and I know it's early and we don't really know how things are going to plan out. But so based upon what you're saying, are you saying that we may be a pass first team to open up the run or using the run to open up the pass?
I think it's going to be pass first to open up the run. I literally think it's going to be pass first to open up the run. You'll see screens. You'll see a lot of guys in motion. The tight ends are definitely going to get the football because DeBoer loves that position. They're going to get the football. Now, in terms of guys pushing the ball downfield, I think you'll see more routes with Kobe Prentice. You'll see a lot of stuff with Caleb Oldham, the freshman, who really looks good out there at 6'5" as a wide receiver. You'll see Kendrick Law doing a lot of things. He'll get the ball out the backfield. He'll get the ball on routes. He'll get the ball deep. He'll get the ball in motion. Kendrick Law is a utility knife. He'll get the ball anywhere on the field. And then you look at a guy like Jeremy Bernard, transfer from Washington. He'll fit in that role that Isaiah Bond left behind to go to Texas. So Jeremy will fit in that role, but he's a very underrated blocker. Jeremy Bernard, physical blocker. He will crack back block you. That guy gets physical with that out on the field. He will spring guys down the field to score. And what's going to be the more so intriguing thing here is Jalen Hale is out with an injury right now. So he'll miss the rest of spring with a serious knee issue. Hopefully the coaching staff optimistic they can get him back for the regular season. But with him out, it looks like Emmanuel Henderson will be the guy asked to step up. He was a 5-star at a high school, Geneva County 2022 class. The only reason why he was switched to receiver from running back, Jam Miller, had more size at running back than what E-Man did. And that's why Saban switched E-Man to wide receiver. So he's right now looked at to be the guy to step up in the absence of Jalen Hale.
All right, excellent. I do. Thank you very much. We're going to try to take about 5 more minutes just so everybody knows, because I know we've gone over. I think this has been totally awesome. You are shooting, bringing the fire, brother, and doing this stuff, and we love everything that you do. So thank you for being patient with us too. Thank you for everybody in the chat for hanging out and listening to Teague's take today. But I did have at least maybe one or two more questions, if that's okay with you.
Go ahead.
All right. So much about the quarterback talk, right?
Yeah.
Milroe's
I thought we put
guy.
to bed.
Is it over? Is it really his? Is it done? I know what coaches will say. They don't want any riffraff. They don't want no stuff. He's our quarterback. He's going. But is that what it looks like? Is there a quarterback? How's that quarterback room looking right now?
Look, Milroe's one. Milroe's one. There's no controversy there. Milroe's one. Now, 2 is where it gets interesting because 2, you have Simpson and Larnigan. And those 2 are kind of neck and neck right now. Simpson, by the smallest of hairs, has it, but Larnigan's a pure quarterback. Like A-Day, if Larnigan goes out there A-Day and just lights it up, it could be a flip-flop. Like whichever one of those 2 doesn't have the A-Day that they would like to have or doesn't finish spring strongly, one of those 2 I could see hit the portal. Because it's Larnigan and Simpson are battling for that number 2. Austin Mack is good. He's a little raw. He's 17, 18 years old, a little bit raw, still learning some things. Now, he can make a lot of off-platform throws. He can make those. But I think he's got to get a bit more weight on him, a bit more muscle on him. He's going to have to get more in that weight room of Coach Ballou, put that muscle on him, but get a little bit more affiliated with the culture here at Alabama. I think in the years to come, he could be something. Just a little bit raw right now. So I think Milroe's 1, and 2 is Simpson and Larnigan, and that's a toss-up.
Okay. All right. So JT, was Steven, was he the one that posted on April 1st that Scott Cochran was back as a strength coach? Is that one of the April Fool's things that I saw?
I didn't post that one.
I didn't see it from Steve. But I did see that he was back in the building for some reason.
Okay, the reason why he was back, his son had a visit to the campus. His son was visiting, so that's why Scott Cochran was here. Son had a visit to Alabama. I did get a video of Scott Cochran driving away, like the paparazzi, so I did get that video, but I did not post anything on April Fool's Day about that.
Yeah, you can't be showing that man license plate and all that kind of stuff, man.
Oh, no. I mean, that borders on stalkerism. I'm not stalking him. that borders on stalker mentality.
Yeah. So do you get to actually go out to the practices and watch it and see it?
Oh yeah. I mean, when they allow the media availability, I'm out there. Now they do have us confined to like one area, so you do some walking, not a whole lot. Now, fortunately, where I am, I can see pretty much everything in the one area I'm in. I can see the offensive line. I can see the quarterbacks going through routes on there with receivers. I'm up close on the defensive back, so I see all of those guys. And then I do see the defensive line. So from where I am, I can see those positions really clearly.
So let me ask you something. It's going. We on air. We on air, dog.
Okay.
So if I come to the spring game and I'm coming in as a media person, are you going to let me shadow you? I want to be with the great Stephen M. Smith. I don't know nothing about the media stuff. I don't know where to go pick up the passes. I don't know where we're supposed to park, all this kind of stuff. I've pretty much got the okay, but I need someone to show me the ropes, man. Can I be with you, or I got to call somebody else?
Man, Teague, you should have told me this months ago, man. I'm going to the game with my family, with my wife and my daughter.
Oh, see, I knew he was gonna do it. See, you see what I'm saying, JT? I knew it was gonna be something like that.
That's why we get Ryan Fowler on the show more often.
Well, I wanted to see what he was gonna say. I gave him opportunity. I see what he said.
Man, Teague, man, I'm gonna be with my wife and my baby girl, man, inside the stadium.
Oh, well, so I can't meet the family. But anyway,
you can meet the family, though. You can meet the family, though.
Okay, one more question.
Okay.
I'm saying a fun one.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of us want to know, because we don't get to go to practice. Now, I hear there's kind of differences in the way practices, I'm going to say flow between what Saban might have did. Maybe it's a little quiet, a little bit more intense, a little bit more serious. Has DeBoer changed the culture of that? Is there music going on? Are they?
Yes.
How are the guys
Yeah.
feeling? What is the? What do you think's going on?
There's different genres of music, so it will go from 90s rap to trap music rap to country trap to country to it's a I don't know who's controlling the aux cord at practice, but they are controlling that thing, and the players there's a focus, but it's loose. I mean, it's different from Saban, because when Saban was out there for 17 years, you just heard like that practice sound, right? You heard the football being thrown, you heard the pads popping, you heard the coaches yelling at each other, yelling at players, you heard Saban giving out his orders. It's not like that. I mean, you saw Saban like really on the assistant coaches, making sure you're coaching that guy right, you coaching that guy right. He kind of walking around. DeBoer's not on the coaches like that. Like, he lets those assistant guys go to work. Now he's there with the hat on, just overseeing, but he's not like breathing down the guys' necks. But the players, they're receiving it, man. Like, it is a fire out there. It's a fire out there. There's a hunger out there. Like, I'll say this. I was with the defensive line last week, and it was Freddie Roach and Jamie Mosley out there. And they were working strategically with Keon Keeley, the young former 5-star, which they have a lot of high hopes for him. And they were getting into that man about, you got to come after this quarterback. They were getting into Keeley. They want to turn that young man loose, because that guy, when he fully locks in, that kid can be something really special. He can be something really – he chose Will Anderson's number for a reason. That kid can be something. When he fully locks all the way into what his role is, because he's going to play that bandit position. When he locks into what he's supposed to do, Freddie Roach told us, we're turning that kid loose. It's time for that kid to go eat.
Oh, nice. So, JT, have you ever heard of country trap? What the hell is that?
Look, there's every form of
what the hell is that? Country trap.
So Tig, it's basically, it's country music with some rapping into it on a rap beat.
So it's
That's what it is.
It's like Lil Nas X and his friends.
Whatever. Like, what is going on?
Basically, what JT just said. That's basically what it is.
Okay. Well, it happens. I don't know. I was really curious about that, because I know the differences when we're talking about, hey, things are changing. We're worried about a lot of the other stuff, right? NILs, collections, and all this, but the atmosphere, it sounds like, to me, it seems like that could be still help you get recruits and stuff, because you're getting modern, if I can say that. We're playing music, we're
and guys,
jumping around.
And I want to throw this in. I know a lot of people have comment, well, this is not what Alabama should be with Nick Saban. It was stern, it was serious, it was about business. Nick Saban had his style for 17 years, and it worked. You got 6 national championships out of it. You got 9 conference championships out of it. You got a lot out of that. So here comes DeBoer. He's bringing in his whole different way. He wants to do it his way. Yes, he wants to build on the success that's been here, what Saban has done, absolutely. But DeBoer also says, hey, I want to inject my flavor into this also. And we're gonna get a chance to see this on A-Day, and then moving forward, most importantly, the upcoming season. Will this DeBoer flavor, how will it work? How will it translate winning games? How will it translate, most importantly, winning championships? So we're going to see this pretty soon here, how this is translating.
All right, man. Thank you very much, sir. Why don't you tell everybody how they can find you, where they can find your articles, where's the best place for people to come find
universalworld.com.
Oh, don't stop that,
JT. I knew JT was going to pull that. I knew he was going to pull it. But the people can find me. That's touchdownalabama.com. That's where the articles are, touchdownalabama.com. They can pick up that subscription right there. We got you taken care of where recruiting is concerned, of a transfer portal is concerned, which that thing opens back up April 15th. 2 days after A-Day. We got you covered where the current roster is concerned, and also guys in the NFL where Bama football goes as well. Make sure you get that subscription to touchdownalabama.com. We're about to unleash TDA Plus, to where I'm dropping a new podcast there where you'll get to see never before seen stories from me. Like, these are stories that nobody else has heard, but I'm breaking out here in this new podcast.
You gotta, if you tell the Universal World story, you'll get all the subscriptions that you need.
He gonna have his shirt off on the podcast. He gonna be like Pat McAfee. He gonna put on a tank top. He gonna be doing it hard, baby.
Hey, JT, you might get that Universal World story. You just may get that, man. You just may get that. You can also catch me on Twitter at Coaching M. Smith. They're on Twitter when I'm not doing things for TDA. I like to help out the kids back home, local high school, help look at their highlight tapes, get them going in the right direction in terms of trying to get to college, things like that. But at Coaching M. Smith on Twitter, I'm today just stitching up some videos from the Bama players and coaches speaking today, and some good stuff from those guys.
Oh, man, I love your comment by your people there. Steven After Dark stream. Oh, yeah. I love it. I love it.
Oh,
hey,
man. These folks right here. Now,
well,
they were already going crazy about, we had got this new backdrop. With the new backdrop we had, it felt like the Atlanta club scene. So everybody was like, Steven at Magic City tonight? Steven at Club 112? Yeah, you folks right here, man. You gotta love the fans.
Yeah. Hey, Louis, I will tell you this as we get ready to close this show up. I can still high step, man, in the end zone. Now, I might not be moving as fast as I want to, and it might not look as sweet as I did because I was about 187 pounds. I'm about a cool 230 right now. So it would look a little bit different, but I'm fortunate enough to be in great health. And I hope everybody is in great health too. And I hope that, you guys continue to support us at Teague's Take. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, liking it, sharing it with many people. We love this. Make sure you are tuning in to the Bama Standard. They have so many great things going on. And Steven, are you allowed to talk about your stuff on what you guys got going on with 8A for the last piece? You guys got a very special guest going on down there.
Yeah, man. So on Friday, April 12th, we're gonna have the boy LD, Landon Dickerson.
Yes,
sir. So Landon Dickerson, who just bought the brand new lawnmower, with that check right there. So LD will be on the show, and along with him, it's going to be a good lineup of people at the Bryant Museum that will be signing autographs. Terry Arnold will be there. Trent Richardson will be there, among others, signing autographs, things like that. The Bama Standard will be there Friday doing the show. So you can catch the wild cast of Justin Riley, Steve Brown, Marvin Constant, Bo Scarborough, and yours truly, trying to keep everything from not getting too crazy, though it will get crazy regardless.
And Marvin Constant going to have on a tight-ass shirt. I promise you that's what's going to happen. But anyway, hey, man, we thank y'all for everything. Subscribe, like it, love it. We're going to see y'all in a couple weeks. It's time for some spring football, baby, and I'm excited. I hope to see Stephen M., and the rest of the crew at spring football. But we're going to see y'all in a couple weeks. Deuces.